Welcome everyone. My name is John Worthington and today I will be presenting alongside Chris Petrebka. We're both Apple consultants at Wipro. The Wipro Apple practice manages over 800,000 Macs for our clients. I'm the European lead of the practice and Chris is our principal consultant from Canada. Are you there, Chris?
Hi, John. Welcome, everyone.
Thanks, Chris. We're here today to share one of the learning experiences we've had from using Jamf to deliver great onboarding experiences for our end users. Very briefly, a little bit about Wipro. Wipro provides support services and technical consultancy on a global scale. We have over 240,000 employees in 66 countries and covering 26 industry segments. We offer an end-to-end digital transformation partnership that delivers personalized outcomes through holistic solutions. The jewel in Wipro's crown is our global Apple practice. We have a huge network of expertise and knowledge and a wealth of established partnerships. By bringing all this together as a technical community, we are able to add value for our clients to solve their complex technical challenges. Although Wipro's main business is supporting and consulting for our clients, we also live and breathe by our own rules. This year, we introduced the option of device choice to our own freshers. We have had a huge uptake of freshers asking for Macs. In fact, it's created a trend on LinkedIn as the lucky recipients are posting videos of unboxing their Mac welcome packs. As a result, we now have tens of thousands of Macs under our own Jamf instance. This has been really exciting for us, and people are asking us how we did it. So here we are to share a little bit of that with you all. We had to integrate a lot of new ideas and developments to reach our targets, but the use case that we are sharing today is what we call dynamic zero-touch branding, or Dyna Zero. Here we can see some posts of delighted recipients of our wonderful Apple welcome packs. The mood is full of excitement and joy. They feel empowered and their posts show their gushing enthusiasm to start working. Okay, so maybe that's a bit strong, but there's a real pride and enthusiasm for joining Wipro. We'd like to show you now the current unboxing experience that our freshers are so excited about.
Hello and welcome to the demonstration of the Mac onboarding experience we have designed for Wipro. Please note that we can customize the onboarding experience for any environment. We start with a typical Apple setup using Apple Business Manager. With Apple Business Manager, you can automate MDM enrollment and simplify initial device setup without touching or preparing the devices before users get them physically. The Mac you see in the demonstration is zero-touch ready. First, the end user selects their region and then is asked if they have any accessibility requirements. The user sees a prompt to join a Wi-Fi network, and once connected, the Mac connects back to the Apple Business Manager to find out which company the device belongs to. Apple Business Manager will point the device to whatever MDM the company or service provider configured, and it begins its zero-touch deployment. During this stage, the device will receive pre-configured software and settings needed to start the onboarding experience. The user sees a prompt to input their corporate credentials. We use Azure, AD, and Jamf Connect at Wipro, but you may use alternative authentication systems in your environment. Next, the user receives a personalized welcome screen. The display shows the user's first name and the model of the Mac. We can also insert the company's branding on the screen or other variables. Next, the user sees a high-level overview of the applications installed on the central portion of the screen, and the right-hand side will show an approximation of the remaining steps. Next, we have embedded a welcome video message from leadership. We have the CEO warmly welcome the employee and provide information about how they can jumpstart their career. The actual message was cut out for time. This could be any video a client would like. For example, business conduct guideline training, sexual harassment prevention training, IT security training, etc. Next, we present users with an embedded QR code, which takes them to a mobile app to set up multi-factor authentication. QR codes are great if you need to have the end user download an app on their mobile device during enrollment or go to a website or web app while setting up the Mac. The next screen gives the possible new hire an overview of company resources or things like user communities, how to get help, the employee portal, and where to find support videos. Finally, we can do things for compliance, like insert an acceptable use policy or any other policy the company would like to track. The ability to force acceptance of the usage policy can be something else a client would like to follow for compliance. If you'd like to find out more about how Wipro can help your organization, please reach out to us at apple.experts@wipro.com.
And there we are, happy and ready to work right out of the box. So how did the DynaZero use case come to be? Shortly after we started our device choice pilot program, we were feeling confident about the new, fresh feeling of our own onboarding workflow. The feedback had been great, both through LinkedIn posts and also from our Jamf admins and the entire support chain. This response inspired us to showcase the onboarding workflow at our own monthly technical community call. This is our own internal platform for our Jamf admins and Mac support community, and we use it for us to share the wealth and new developments of any upcoming items of technical interest. As we demonstrated the Octary-based zero-touch rollout workflow, our European sales lead couldn't hold back his enthusiasm and declared, "It's absolutely amazing." And then, of course, he wanted more. What would be even more amazing would be if I could easily change the look and feel to match any client's branding. So that put the seeds in our heads, and we started thinking about how we could meet this use case. And so DynaZero was created. Our requirements for DynaZero were really quite simple. The most important requirement was that we could make the whole system checkbox simple, making sure that non-admin users would be able to manage it. The intention was to allow pre-stage enrollment branding to be modified by sales teams. We needed a simple way to create a new branding record, a way to edit the record, and a really simple way for our sales team to choose the branding required. The branding asset requirements were also quite simple. A friendly welcome message, a logo, a background image, a movie URL, and a default account name. On the left, you can see our branding database. You can see two branding records, one for Wipro Marketing and one for Wipro Design. On the right, you can see a swift dialogue onboarding workflow. We've added the colorful stars to show the connection between the elements in the swift dialogue window on the right and the source of the data on the left. Yellow star, company name, green star, company logo, orange star, account name, blue star, welcome message. These were the original requirements from our sales team, and together they allowed immediate recognition of corporate branding for the selected record.
Checkbox simple. As John mentioned, our pre-sales lead wanted to ensure that dynamic branding was easy to use for non-technical people. With the brand record created as John showed, the add, edit, select, and delete action items on the right allow our leads to quickly create and select different brands. This empowers leads as they make changes to brands shown on the Mac with a simple checkbox. They can also add entirely new brands minutes before presenting. In testing solutions for displaying the brand data to the end user's Mac, we chose Swift Dialog. We like the simplicity of Swift Dialog, as you can send a command with the required variable or variables and iterate quickly. The confidentiality agreement at Wipro will not allow us to show you all the ins and outs of DynaZero. In the coming slides, we've done our best to show you how DynaZero works without showing you 100% of its functionality. On this slide, we show the DynaZero site with Wipro design selected on the left and Swift Dialog in the foreground on the right. In Dialog, we have a variable icon, title, and welcome text. All variables shown in Dialog are, of course, pulled from the DynaZero site. In this example, we'll go to the site and choose the Wipro marketing brand, just as sales leads would, as shown here in the black circle. We can see in the branding records that the name's logo and all the variables are different for each design and marketing record. Not important, but good to note. Now, when the DynaZero script runs on the Mac and Dialog launches, we will see the marketing brand values we selected previously in the DynaZero site. It's that simple. One click on DynaZero site to change the branding. Now, let's look at the script that runs on the Mac that pulls the values from the site and then launches Dialog. The DynaZero script is straightforward. It uses the curl binary to download the data from the selected brand record. Here we see the variable company name curling down the data from the company name PHP URL. Since the data held in the company name PHP URL changes based on which brand record is selected in that web app, there is no need to make any changes to the script to change the displayed brand. In this example, we were able to switch between design and marketing as shown in the bottom right. As we were testing DynaZero, we also discovered that we could take this concept further and implement script parameters in Jamf Pro to choose which brand to present. We've added a brace expansion variable in the script to help with spaces and brand names. In the background, you can see a Jamf policy window with the fourth parameter being Wipro marketing. With this Jamf parameter value matching the company value on the DynaZero site. Using Jamf script parameters allowed us to iterate quickly through different brands for testing without having to check the select box on the DynaZero site. In this example, rather than calling Swift Dialog, if you look closely, you can see that we are modifying an Octary plist using plistBuddy. plistBuddy allows for the creation, editing, and reading of plists. Here we are using plistBuddy to update the values with those from the DynaZero site. Pre-stage enrollments are used for zero-touch onboarding. As you saw in our video, we use Jamf and Octary during onboarding at Wipro. Our onboarding uses pre-stage enrollments that install the Octary application, the Octary plist, and other assets displayed to the user. After these assets are downloaded, the remaining variables are handled by DynaZero. The DynaZero script can either be packaged as a post-install item with other onboarding resources for Octary, or deployed through a Jamf policy once the device is enrolled. This way, we can ensure that all of the static and dynamic assets are at the device before Octary launches. If the DynaZero site is unreachable for whatever reason, we can default to other local resources included in the pre-stage package. This flexibility is a critical component of DynaZero's success. For more information on packaging Octary to use in a pre-stage enrollment, we urge you to look at Octary's documentation site at octary.io. To review, we showed you how we use dynamic branding to help us save time and effort when testing and deploying onboarding scenarios, like the one you saw in the video. We showed how we use Jamf Script Parameters to speed up testing. Along the way, we also showed how Wipro has rapidly expanded our Mac device count and how good onboarding can lead to excited users posting on social media. Lastly, we showed how DynaZero works in Jamf pre-stage enrollments for dynamic zero-touch branding. Thanks for taking the time today to learn about DynaZero and all the exciting things we're doing at Wipro. We hope that our talk today has inspired you to look at new ways to automate and expand your onboarding experiences beyond the end user. John?
Thanks, Chris, and thank you all for watching. I hope you all have a great JNUC 2022. Bye-bye.